Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world, welcome back, boxing fans. It's going down right now, okay? Good morning to all. I need y'all to like and subscribe to the channel because it's going down. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you send this video to a friend. And now let's begin. As I wipe the coal from my eye, the only thing left to do is ask, why? Why Saudi Arabia? Why boxing? Why make the mistake, man? Especially boxing, the boxing community, the promoters, okay? Why make the mistake falling for the money the Saudis put up to put this card together? Because guess what? This card has ended the super fight that we wanted to see in Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua for years. For years, okay? As long as us here in America, those who believe in conspiracy theories, right, have been calling for the government to release the files on the UFOs, is how long we've been waiting for this Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fight. And now we are not getting it. As I sip my coffee and think about it today, I couldn't even sleep last night, bruh. I gotta be honest with you. I couldn't even sleep. I was twisting and turning and, you know, it was hot like I'm burning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm concerned, and what's going on? And look, the Saudis outsmarted themselves by getting greedy, okay? Trying to delay this fight in the first place to even make this card happen. And now guess what? They ruined a fight that I don't know about y'all, I don't know about you, I don't know about Jack, I don't know about Jill, but Leel been waiting for, okay? Now let's break down this fight before I get into anything further from a further perspective, okay? As an American man, I am very disappointed in Deontay Wilder, okay? Number one, he had no versatility in his game. Bro threw about 1 to 2 jabs the entire night. And the jab is so important because Wilder could have used it to disguise his lethal right hand. So because he didn't use his jab, his timing, his judgment of distance was off. When he fought Jermaine Stavern, a fight that went the distance, he used his jab to a victory. Not the Stavern fight that had this guy sleeping, okay? La 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 la. Good night. Not that fight. I'm talking about the first fight in which Deontay Wilder went the distance and used his jab to a victory. Okay? Even in the third Tyson Fury fight, in the early rounds, he backed up Fury with a jab. And I kid you not, I saw the look of concern on Fury's face because he knew if Wilder could use that power jab, it would have been a long night, okay? Trying to avoid Wilder's right hand. But guess what? Wilder never stuck with that, and his whole game plan went out the window. And that fight became a brawl in which Fury, we all know, won. Now, Wilder against Parker, Wilder, he was very reactive and not proactive. Anytime Parker landed a right hand with bad intentions, Wilder responded by trying to land his, okay? Any right hand you could throw, I can throw better. I can throw any right hand better than you, okay? He never dictated his offense, okay? That's what I mean by being proactive, all right? How about you initiate your offense? No, it was very reactive. When Parker landed a shot, Wilder tried to land a big shot, okay? And I think that's a byproduct of Wilder being content with punting rounds. My guy's the best field goal kicker in boxing. My guy's out here punting rounds, bro. And he did way too much rating, not enough throwing. And in the meantime, Parker was utilizing an effective jab and landed some good shots while staying clear of the right hand. There were times where Wilder would throw the right hand and Parker would bang his head against Wilder's chest to not give him the space to land that right hand. Smart game plan by Parker. He had a very effective game plan. But I tell you this, I don't think Parker's success against Wilder is no coincidence. Everybody's shocked. Now, I am a little bit shocked at Wilder's horrible performance, but I'm not really shocked at the outcome. Because number one, his activity, fighting 4 times a year, he's now 4-0 in the year of 2023. Who's having a better year than Joseph Parker right now. And he deserves some Fight of the Year conversation because I value in today's game activity. Okay, I understand Terrence Crawford had a dominating, massive fight for his legacy against Errol Spence, but my guy only fought one time this year. You combine one fight versus 4 fights in a fight, that beating Deontay Wilder. Yeah, I mean, come on. That should be a very good conversation right there, But that's not a topic that we're trying to cover right now, right? But let's talk about the activity because it's a shame. Y'all see a coincidence? Anthony Joshua won this fight. We're going to cover Anthony Joshua in a minute. Fighting 3 times this year, right? Parker, 4 times this year. And they look sharp. Both of these guys look sharp, right? Think about Andy Ruiz being their commentator. What the hell is still commentating for? I understand he's in the sport of boxing, right? But what the hell he commentating for when this guy haven't fought in years? It's disgusting. We should have been seeing I'm about to say Anthony Wilder. I got to pause because it ain't going to be no Anthony Wilder, right? Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz should have been fighting. They should have fought. But that long layoff is, I'm telling you, I saw it when, Ruiz fought Ortiz, when he fought Areola. Activity is important in the sport of boxing. But another thing is that we have to remember that Parker's a Fury disciple, having been in his camp for years, soaking up the knowledge on how to conduct an a game plan, right? On how to negate Wilder's right hand, right? How to conduct the offensive and a defensive game plan to beat Wilder. And his footwork was good. I thought his footwork was really good. And I thought he could have used slightly more feinting, which Fury did a lot of in the first Wilder fight to really offset Wilder and make Wilder even more reactive. But nevertheless, I think Wilder's mental wasn't there. We talking about a guy who made a lot of money. Got to be real. A guy, and I quote, I don't need the business of boxing, okay? Wilder has made a lot of money. The hunger, the drive ain't there. Remember why Deontay Wilder got into boxing in the first place. He didn't get into boxing like these other cats did because he wanted to make a legacy. He loved the sport of boxing. It was something he practiced when he was young, when he got in the gym, and he wanted to, pursue it and be the best at it. He got it because he wanted to provide for his daughter who had a sickness. We got to remember intentions, brother. I know it may seem like it's nothing, but it's real. When you do something to get something in particular and you get it, now there's no more drive. Everything else is for the ride, but it's not for the drive. And Wilder was just in this for the ride. He's not in this for the drive anymore. And we have to remember that. But another thing is that Wilder, I felt mentally, he was still shadowed by Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury's mind game still played with Deontay Wilder to this day. Okay, to this day. Because think about the last fight against Fury when he bulked up. He didn't need to be that heavy. And that was because he knew that Fury was going to have that game plan of lean, grapple, tie, rabbit punches and all that. And I think I think he knew that Fury was going to help Joseph Parker out with the game plan, him having success and then being in the same camp for all these years, that, Joseph Parker was going to take that blueprint and use it. And I think that played in his mental, Deontay Wilder, he can't escape the Tyson Fury, demon. But anyway, I'm off this, man. I'm disgusted. I'm disappointed, I wanted to see Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder, fumbled it. And that's why, you cannot overlook your opponent in boxing. We saw this so many times. Tyson Fury arguably should have lost to Francis Ngannou, which would have prevented the Usyk fight. He needed help from the judges to get that fight going. And this one, we couldn't even help Deontay Wilder here. The judges probably want to help Deontay Wilder. You think they don't want to see the big fight? Yeah, they do. But it's like my guy. When you only throw 1 or 2 jabs, I can't help you, bro. I can't help you. Okay? Now let's talk about Anthony Joshua. Because we talk about Deontay Wilder and him not having that urge. And how do I know that? Body language. What you say. Right? I take those things and I could read people like that. But one thing about Anthony Joshua, on the flip side, is that he's motivated. He's focused. He's locked in. And everybody saw him not, feeding into the press when it came to, the mega fight with Deontay Wilder. Now, I do think, there's some ducking going on. Clearly, that's evident for years now, but it's neither here or there, right? Let's talk about Anthony Joshua, who was locked into his opponent and who stole the night. Everybody came to see Anthony Joshua. That place got filled real quick when Anthony Joshua's fight was on, okay? So in my own two eyes. Anyway, AJ looked very hungry, and it showed, him teaming up with Ben Davison, a partnership that should continue in my opinion. I never really cared for Derrick James and Anthony Joshua. I just never thought it was a good fit. I think, Derrick James working with heavyweights, I'm not really too fond of that. But Wallin, he looked intimidating, and he seemed to respect Joshua's power from round one after Joshua landed that body shot. And Wallin was flat-footed, okay? He lacked power, which is really not a good combination to be flat-footed and not have power, right? And it wasn't like fighting Usyk, right? Everybody's like, oh, Wallin's a southpaw. He's a southpaw. Usyk was a southpaw. That means AJ is going to have trouble. Stop it. Got to stop overselling these fighters. I understand why we do it. Because we need to think in our minds that this fight is going to be a 50-50 fight so we can be more interested in watching the fight. I understand why we do it. But we got to stop that. We got to be real at the same time, okay? Because Usyk, his elusiveness gave Joshua trouble because of the angles that he created and the angles that Joshua had to figure out, okay? And I thought Joshua did it good enough. I thought he looked good in the second fight against Usyk. But it was more about how special, Usyk is than how bad Joshua was and why Joshua lost that fight. And over the years, Joshua has transitioned from being an explosive power puncher to being a smarter boxer who doesn't want to leave his chin exposed because he has no chin, okay? My guy's Pillsbury Dope Boy. So in order to, avoid us seeing Pillsbury Dope Boy, stick and jab. And he was just able to pick apart Wallin with his jab. He picked apart Wallin with his jab to victory. And he was very sharp. And, this version of AJ is an AJ that could get right back in the thick of things, okay? And that's why activity is important. When Deontay Wilder lost to Tyson Fury, he should have been active, and he chose that moment to be inactive. And, he came at Andy Ruiz saying that he wasn't worth this, and he was being greedy, and Ruiz is another one being greedy, and they couldn't get that fight together, and guess who's affected now? Okay? Now, I'm going to just let you know right now, AJ had no intentions of fighting Deontay Wilder. I've never seen AJ so happy in my life. With all due respect. My guy was smiling from ear to ear. He was not smiling like that against Helenius, okay? He just wasn't, all right? He was just happy to get the knockout and get up out of there, okay? A guy literally knocked Helenius out and walked out the ring. Over here, he was celebrating with the people. Kumbaya, 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 I don't got to fight Wilder no more. Right? Because guess what? There's evidence that I don't really need to get into right now. I don't need to cry over spoiled milk. But, even AJ in the interviews, I want to chase the title. I fight Philip Herkovich for the title. Yeah, okay. Right. And then in the interview after this fight, when the reporter asks him, if the Wilder fight is still on, do you want to fight? Who do you want to fight? Oh, I'll leave it up to the fans. But you wasn't saying that prior to that. But it's all good. I peep game. I already peep game in 2017, okay? With all due respect. You don't need to fool me again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, not gonna happen. You ain't gonna fool me twice, because once you fool me once, I peep game. That's why they call me the real Leel. But look, credit to AJ. He looked sharp, right? He defeated Otto Wallin with ease, right? Wallin never stood a shot because that Fury fight was not even close. The only thing that happened in that Fury fight was Fury got a large cut, and Otto Wallin couldn't even exploit that. It's a shame that you couldn't even win that fight with Fury having a monster cut like that. So that should have told everybody. But you listening to these pundits, media pundits. Oh, it's gonna be a close fight. He almost beat Tyson Fury. Oh, stop it, okay, please. All right. Anyway, those are my reactions to the two main events. On the Day of Reckoning, event that shouldn't have happened. With all due respect, it shouldn't have happened because now we don't have the two big mega fights anymore. And that's what happens when you prolong the mega fights. And that being in the heavyweight division at that. Anyway, I'm out of here. Good night.